the intent is damaging that word. Like it's a degrading word when it's used by a person of non-color. It's just a flat out degrading, hurtful word. And we're not at the point yet where we're comfortable with white people using the word. I heard a little bit about Joe Rogan, and I was a little surprised. I'm an admirer of him, and I was a little surprised when this negativity came out with about racial slurs a few years ago. Just a little bit of surprise, but I just kind of distanced myself from it. And but then I saw the apology that he made, his heartfelt apology that he was making, and it was interesting, the heartfelt apology, because he he owned it. He owned it. He said he fucked up. He said it was insensitive. He just owned it. He described the lessons that he learned, and it was just interesting because some people that do this and they make this mistake, what I don't like is that they don't really own it. Yeah, they apologize. They apologize because the heat's on. They apologize because public opinion's against them. But they don't mean it. They're. I don't know if they would change or not. I don't know if they learned a lesson. They don't really have an understanding of what the mistake they did and how they've hurt people and how wrong it was. They don't really have an understanding. But I was listening to Joe Rogan, and I don't have that impression of him. I think he really understands. I think he appreciates that he really did fuck up, and that the situation that he's in right now, and he's not hiding it. He just faced it. But one of the things, though, I do get tired of. I get tired of as a person of color. I get tired of you know, people making jokes or making these lines or whatever they say about, using racial slurs, just testing it with people of color, or making us the butt of jokes in comedy shows or shows. I don't like it, and I don't like it because the influence that it has. It's like you're telling me what you actually think of people of color, and then you're teaching it to your audience like we're not even human. And I just don't like it. And lately when I see that, I do shut people off. Like if I see a comedian, particularly a comedian of non-color, I'll shut them off and I won't use them anymore. But listen to me anymore. But some people say, well, what's the difference between, like whites that do it and they talk about black people and racial slurs, and blacks that do it? And it's almost an ignorant question because there's a big fucking difference with that. There's the history of it with that. And there's the numbers. Black population is 11% of the population. And I don't agree with them necessarily using the word either, but they've turned this ugliness that was forced upon them, suppression, slavery, violence, and they've changed, and they changed this word, this ugly word, and they try to create an intent of love, or create an intent of brotherhood, comedy, something to that effect. But when white people do it, though, it's not perceived that way. And maybe they are perceiving it that way, maybe they're not. But a lot of times I don't think so. A lot of times it's like a test. It's like they're going to test you. Because see, the word, so it could be, the intent is damaging that word. Like it's a degrading word when it's used by a person of non-color. It's just a flat out degrading, hurtful word. And we're not at the point yet where we're comfortable with white people using the word at all. Not even comfortable with it. Because of the history behind it, and we're still in that history. Like, if it wasn't police brutality right now, or if people didn't use the word with such venomous, I don't think I said it right, but such mean-spirited, if people didn't use that word such mean-spirited, then the word could probably be as accepted and somebody could have a conversation. Like Joe Rogan, basically he's just having a conversation, he's using the word. But even then it's offensive. It's very offensive. But I think we know what Joe Rogan's intent is, and his intent is not to offend, not to hurt anybody. I think we know his intent is not that he's a racist. I think we know that. But there's people out there, though, that hide behind that, and they claim they're not a racist, but they're using that word. They claim they don't want to hurt you, but they really do want to hurt you. There's that line. And us people of color, black people, we always experience that with people. When they use the word, we experience it. We know immediately why you're doing it. Joe Rogan, give him a pass. But we know immediately why a lot of people use the word. We know.